Game Square, Game Square. It's party time, it's excellent. Game Square, Game Square. Win or lose, they'll give you the news. Game Square. We're down in the basement talking baseball.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to James Squared here on Halos in the Infield podcast network. Go on Believe. Make sure you go to all the social medias to find us on Halos in the Infield. This is episode 11, James. I can't believe we've been through it all so far.
11.
Yeah. Jim Fergosi's number, of course, the first star for the Angels, legit star that the Angels had back then. So it's a good number to have. And I know we didn't go through the other numbers, but I think it's only right to start with number 11, the shortstop back then. It was an interesting week in baseball for the Angels. Had the off day last week on the 11th, but then they had a road trip that's still going on, if you can believe it. But first, let me shout out to our sponsors. Noble Oil Works at 1621 Sinclair Street, Suite B in Anaheim there. Make sure to go there before games and after games. They're going to have specials there. Just mention Halos in the Infield. And the bartenders there should know what is going on. So shout out to them for keeping us in the know. And then also 714 Tickets.
714 tickets, 714 tickets. Call today. Go tonight.
So all the tickets that you really, really want to go see, not only MLB, not only the Angels, but them Dodgers, them Padres, wherever you want to go. And also, the NBA playoffs are pretty much here for the Clippers and Lakers.
They've
see all
both
that
made it in. Yeah.
Yeah. You can both see them in LA and Crypto.com Arena. And again, they have tickets for everything. And what I like, they had some weekly specials. You just have to go to their social media or their website. They had some specials during that Rays and Angels series that was really, really good to see. And I took advantage of at least the series before that when Boston came here. I got a great deal from Todd. So shout out to him and everybody else on the Heedy crew. I also feel melancholy, of course, for someone we know, and now it's Fernando Mendez. Wednesday night was the last night for the Phoenix Coyotes playing in Arizona. They're on their way to Salt Lake City, Utah. And I know he's going through it right now. Any words for him, James or Milu?
Yeah, it sucks. And they actually won tonight, which was their last game in Arizona. And all those fans are going through it right now. So shout out to Fernando, man. I feel for you. And that's tough, losing your team, your NHL team to another city. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to the Angels anytime soon, if Artie ever sells. But yeah, that's real tough. I really feel for all those fans. And, NHL is like any other. It's not like any other sport. Their fans are attached to their teams in hockey. So much like we Angels fans are to the Angels, but more so. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when they do move to Salt Lake City, if some of those fans follow the team or decide to pick another team. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. That'll be next season.
Vegas is only right there, and the California teams are right there.
Yeah. Come to the
crazy.
Ducks. Hey.
Yeah. Make sure you get your Ducks tickets for next season.
Yeah.
And go to across the street at 714 Tickets. I hope so. I've been wanting to go to a game, and I know 714 Tickets will help me with that. So let's get to the Angels on the road. The first game of that road trip was on the 12th of April. Reed Detmers got the start, and he improved to 3-0. He was solid in that 7-0 shutout over Boston. Detmers again, 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And then the bullpen came in and did an awesome job. 10 total strikeouts for the Angels. Detmer's 98 pitches, he was just tremendous, and it just continued for him. And then some good news, of course, Taylor Ward. And he had 3 RBIs in this game, home run over the Monster. It's amazing to see Taylor Ward when healthy. He can do so much good for this team. And I believe he leads now the league in RBI, or no, the American League in RBIs. So that was really good to see. And then Saturday, unfortunately, Canning had his issues. The Angels lost 7-2 to Boston there. What was it? He went 4 innings, 9 hits. He gave up 6 earned runs. He did strike out 6, but no walks. It was kind of weird for that. Fulmer had to come in and limit the damage, but just too much Boston on that day. But Taylor Ward homered again, which was amazing to see. The win went to Wizard for Boston. And then Sunday was just so frustrating. The Angels lost 5-4. They could have had it, but they gave up too many runs. More notably, Tyler O'Neill got his 7th home run.
The Angels killer.
Yeah, right now. Casas had a home run. He's been having a good start to his season as well. Drury did homer. And Infield drove in a run. Pablo Reyes drove in a run. But Yoshida had the big blow in that bottom of the 6th to make it 5-2. Ward did bring home a run to make it 5-3. Rendon had a sacrifice fly to make it 5-4. But then, unfortunately, Mike Trout came up and struck out. And the Red Sox held on to win and take 2 out of 3. I think we both had the Angels only winning 1 out of those 3 games anyway. And before I give it to you, I remembered all 3 games. The Red Sox wore their City Connect uniforms, the yellow with the blue hat, and they looked like the UCLA Bruins out there. But they wore it all 3 days, and it was kind of annoying at first, and I found out why. But James, what did you think about that series for the Angels in Boston? Like, who stood out? Who was just some standouts, and then who disappointed you?
Well, the one player that did stand out in that whole series was Reed Detmers because they couldn't read Detmers. See what I did there, James?
Grill master.
In that first game, it was great, but it was all downhill after that. 7-0 shutout, first shutout of the season, I believe. And everything was going great. The next 2 games, they got us, like you said, Tyler O'Neill, the Angels killer, put a thorn in our side. For this season, we ended up playing Boston last week, too. So the week before in the opening games at Angel Stadium. But I really like Tyler Ward's game, or Taylor Ward. Sorry, not Tyler Ward. Taylor Ward. I'm thinking of Tyler Wade, who plays for the Padres now. Yeah, Taylor Ward, because you remember it was, whatever. He's been on fire, and he, as you said, he leads the AL in RBIs as of today. He was on fire in that series. Mike Trout finally, coming through a couple of times. He didn't come through in the very last game when they had the bases loaded. Wasn't very clutch, but he's starting to hit a little bit. Rendon was pretty good in that series. He's continuing his hot hitting. We'll get to that later. The Red Sox, they have our number in the playoffs, in the regular season. Fenway Park's been a nightmare for us, you know. So, but in that first game, that was something to get our first shutout. Reed Detmers is impressing me very much. Candy needs to figure it out. Our bullpen was pretty good for the most part. Yeah, it was kind of I dislike losing to Boston very much. Very, very much. So it was kind of disheartening to see us lose that series in Boston. But we'll have to get them in the playoffs or next year. So
Let me mention too, Milu, on that Sunday game, Tyler Anderson came in. He was 2-0. And unfortunately, the first inning came to bite him, and that scoreless inning streak was over. He was on the way to try to match I think, Nolan Ryan and I want to say Frank Tanana's records of starting a season out so many innings scoreless.
Innings, yeah.
Trout had a triple. Drury did homer, and it was about time Drury homered. But then, as Todd mentioned in that post-game show on Sunday, the runners in scoring position, the Angels were 1-10, and they left 8 on base. That was really the real big frustrating thing about that game on Sunday. Knowing that you had a possibility, knowing that you got the walks, you had the hits, that was not a problem. But to get them over and get them in, that was such a problem. And I think it was almost more the same as the team went to St. Petersburg, that 4-game series, and coming in, you thought it was what? The Angels were going to split with Tampa, I believe?
Yeah, which they still very well could. When you see this show, that game will be over, and hopefully we do get the split. But yeah, I said they would split in Tampa or St. Petersburg, and then I think before in the series with the Red Sox, we both said the Red Sox would take 2 out of 3, and they did just that. But we've been having problems scoring runs late in games and with the bases loaded. Once again, just like every year, 1-10 is unacceptable, but it's getting better. And Wash has these guys ready to play. And what was disheartening on Sunday was when Trout came up with the bases loaded with a golden opportunity to put the game away, and he strikes out against Kenley Jansen, who
he was wild all game. Yeah,
all that whole 9th inning, he didn't have his best stuff. And he was walking guys, and we just didn't take advantage of it. He swung at a pitch which was outside to end the game, outside and low, and that was the game. But Trout's never been too clutch, but that was a golden opportunity. You want to see a guy like Trout come through. He is the man. So anyway, yeah.
So looking at the first game on Monday, and the Angels did win 7-3, but it's interesting the way they got there. The late hitting they couldn't get on Sunday or wherever, they ended up getting late. Trout homered again. That was on Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th.
It was a 2-run a multi-homer. It was a multi-home run.
I think the second of this season
2 RBI
for Trout. Theis finally got a double. He had 3 RBIs in this game, and then Taylor Ward again homered. It had a 6 home run to make it it was a 2-run home run again, by the way. The Angels won 7-3, and unfortunately, Sandoval, he did so well. It was kind of a shock. He didn't get the win because he didn't last as long. Garcia got the win. I felt bad for Sandoval. He went 5 innings, only 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He did so well, but the bullpen came in and did well. Other from Matt Moore, he gave up that big home run, unfortunately, and that really hurt. But luckily, the Angels scored enough to win
back.
that game. Then the next day, they went back to their old ways, but it was a marathon of a game. The Rays won in 13 innings, 7-6. It was a game of can you top this in the extra innings? In the 10th
game
and
in which
11th,
the Angels should have won, I might add, with 2 outs in the 9th. But Rengifo couldn't handle a ground ball that was hit his way, and he had to throw across his body, and he couldn't. It was too late. But we had many chances to win that one. Once again, didn't come through, but came back every time, and there was like 4 blown saves in that game. According to the one that really counted was the one that Estevez, recorded. And that was the first blown save of the season, which is pretty good for this bullpen, all things considered, compared to past years where we probably lose that game in the 9th, period. They walk it off.
I'm looking now. Cincy also had a blown save in that game.
Right.
But Soriano, he pitched 5 innings, only 1 run given up and 1 hit.
Which
he
is
did
fantastic.
Walk 5, but he struck out 6. But I only thought he would go 3 or 4, and he just shocked everybody going 5. Moniak homered, Ohapi did as well. Moniak drove in a couple. Neto, Ohapi, and Ward drove in each one. But in the 10th inning, each got a run. 11th, the same thing. 12th, they went blank. Even the Angels scored 1 in the 13th, but Rays came back and won on a walk-off fashion in the 13th inning. It was just one of those frustrating games. And let me ask you real quick, do you like that ghost runner rule for the regular season?
I do not. I despise the ghost runner rule. And please bring back just regular extra inning games. I understand why they do it, but come on. Wait till at least you get further into extra innings before you at least do something like that. Give a team a real chance of winning it the natural way, as I call it.
And
it's ridiculous. It's little league rules.
Yeah. Caballero was really hot for the Rays. I mean, Yandy Diaz didn't do as much in Rosarina. It was Caballero, and we saw that in the home series with the Rays.
When they were in Anaheim.
Yeah. There was also another note. So Mike Trout down that Tuesday, he drew his 971st walk. That established a new Angels record. Salmon had 970. Trout, of course, is also the franchise leader in home runs scored. It was just a marathon game, again, won by the Rays, and it was unfortunate. Now you get into what's going to be Wednesday night there in the Trop. The Angels held on to win 5-4. Strickland got the win. He was really up and down. Ron Washington, man, just to stick with him was amazing out there after giving up a big home run.
That wouldn't have happened last year.
Who knows, man, the way things would have went. Trout had a homer. Rengifo had a double. Rendon had a couple of RBIs, and he had a head first slide to third, which was pretty amazing to see. The team did leave 8 on base again, and Rendon did have an error. But Reed Detmers, he kind of, I'm not going to say struggle because he's been worse. He did go 5-1 third innings, 7 hits and 2 runs given up, but 1 was earned. He had 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. It used to be worse. But Strickland got the win despite the blown save. And Simber got some really, really key outs in his 1 and 2 third innings of work. It was pretty amazing to see. Standouts, of course, was Ward again with 3 hits. Rendon with 2. Shanuel had 3. And Adele, man. it's amazing how many times he's come close to hurt this team. Remember that long fly ball to right field today for the third out? Hicks had the beat on it all the way, and Adele came over and kind of sideswiped him. Hicks did hold on to the catch, but it was just one
Yeah,
of
that
those.
could have been disastrous.
Yeah, one of those things where you just don't want to see it, but you know it's coming with Adele. And I know me and Fernando were talking about him. I think on Tuesday, or what would be Tuesday's podcast. Uh, just Adele keeps getting in the way, or he's making mistakes, or he's almost close to making mistakes. Mike Trout did homer. That is his 8th home run of the season. Another solo shot, but I'll take him. But again, Rendon shocked the hell out of us, and that was amazing to see. The Angels go to 9-9 on the season. The Rays are 10-9, and we mentioned today, what will be Thursday. The Rays and Angels finish this 4-game series. It's a morning game for us, but over there it's 1:10. Man, your impressions on the Angels and Rays series so far? I mean, thinking about the Rays bullpen, it's the worst in the league. The Angels have had their faults. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, of course. The starting pitchers, Canning has a chance to really, really make up for the 0-2 start he's had. And then Ryan Pepitot, I want to say his name, the former Dodger in that Glasnow trade. He's 1-2 with a 5.40 ERA. He does have 20 strikeouts, but he's given up a lot of runs, a lot of hits in his 3 starts so far this season. Man, how do you think tomorrow will go, or today will go with Canning starting? Do you think he'll come out better with a Rays, a Sunday lineup for the Rays, or do you think Canning will still implode and have issues?
Well, I'm hoping they get his stuff together, but I think it's going to be more of the same from Canning, from what we've seen. But hey, look at Sandoval. He turned things around this week. I'm hoping Canning does too. But I won't be counting on it totally. So with that being said, I'm hoping he goes out there and pitches lights out, because we need this series. We'd take the series 3 games of 4, or 3 out of 4. And
I had 1 out of 3. Whoops.
Yeah, right. And look, it's been an action-packed series. It would have been one of the better series, I think, that we played. I mean, both teams are going at each other, kind of like evenly matched in a way, with our pitching staffs and stuff like that, and our offense. I'm hoping the Angels can score often and early and often, and we get the win. But we're gonna need Canning to go at least 6 or 7 innings, because our bullpen's pretty taxed from the series. So if he can go at least 6, I'd be happy. But this series has been great. It's been really entertaining with the different storylines, with Rendon and then Caballero. He's having a hell of a couple series against us, or a hell of a season against us so far. So, it's all going to depend on how we pitch. I know the offense has come through again. Taylor Ward's hot. Rendon's been really a great surprise. He actually got his uniform dirty today, so you don't see that often from Rendon. He's making plays out there. Rengifo needs to start fielding a little bit better. You see the play that Neto made today?
Yeah.
Where he caught the ball and then tagged second for the double play. The unassisted double play right there. That was cool to say. He's coming around defensively. Adele just needs to get out of his head. He just needs to play better, make better plays. Not overrun second. Was he playing center field today? I think he was. When Hicks was out there, it's his job as a center fielder to call him off. But geez, communicate out there. that could have been very disastrous for the rest of the game. Ward's been nails. Trout's out there. No, Trout was playing center today, I believe.
Yeah, Dale came in
as a defensive replacement.
Yeah, in right field. Hits
in right
to
field.
Center, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me mention real quick. Yeah, you got to give props to Rendon. I think he won the Stamos somehow Wednesday night, and that
Can you
never
believe
happened.
that? The Stamos. He's never won the Stamos.
And then Ohapi had that wonderful play where the ball got away. He picked it up bare hand and threw someone out at second. That was. You can find that on the Halos in the Infield reel on YouTube, by the way. That play was amazing.
That was Tuesday's game, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Benito Santiago probably made a play like that before, but I've never seen an Angel catcher make a play like that. And we're all waiting for Ohapi. You know he has the lumber, but can he be as good as Theis for fielding? And maybe he's kind of taken a turn toward, being better than Theis all around. The standings here. So as we talked before this Thursday game, the Angels back to 500, like you mentioned, at 9-9, half game out of first to Texas. They're 10-9. They've awakened. Seattle's right there at 9-10. Oakland has fallen back to grace at 8-11, despite winning a lot lately against St. Louis in Oakland. And then Houston is shockingly is at 6-14. They are without 4 starting pitchers. Their offense isn't as would you say dominant
this year.
Yeah, it's a little weird seeing this division the way it is right now, especially with Houston. Everybody's waiting for them to say, okay, they have everybody, they have all the pieces, they should be fine. We don't know yet.
Verlander's coming back this weekend.
So that's a great thing for them, despite losing a few other people on their team. So let's talk about the next opponent the Reds have. I'm sorry, the Angels have. They're both going to be red. The Angels will go to Cincinnati after this game today against Tampa. The Reds took, I believe... No, they got swept in Seattle by the Mariners. That's why Seattle's
won 5 straight.
Yeah, I just saw that now. Thank you. I haven't really followed the Mariners, but lately they've been really hot. And the Reds going back home, they of course I think have the day. Yeah, they have the day off. Lucky them. It's funny how the American League schedule works sometimes. But the Reds with the day off, that's going to favor them eventually. But they're looking for better. They're young and hungry. I think I had them winning that Central Division in the National League. Right now, there's no starting pitchers named because I guess both teams have some injury issues. But they're also 9-9 in their division. They're also, let's see, what are they in the Central Division? They are 4th in that division. There's a lot of surprises. Milwaukee, Chicago, and Pittsburgh, they all have 11 wins, but 6, 7, and 8 losses.
That's crazy.
Cincinnati's 2.5 back in 4th place at 9-9, and then St. Louis is 9-10. They had a little issue in Oakland. They're 3.5 or 3 games out first. So Cincinnati scraping so far, kind of like the Angels are. It's hard to predict, but let's just do it for fun. I'm guessing the Angels take only 1 out of 3 in Cincinnati. That ballpark is notorious for giving up home runs if you're a pitcher. You hate being there if you're a pitcher, especially the way the wind blows. They also have a lot of speed. It starts with Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, Stevenson. You have Benson, who's a powerful right fielder batter. He's going to be a handful, especially against the Angel bullpen late. So look out for that. They have a great starting rotation, especially at the top, I should say, with it started by Hunter Green, and we'll see if the Angels face him this weekend. I'm going to say 1 out of 3 against Cincinnati. What do you think?
Well, James, you're always so negative. I'm going to say the
Mhm.
Eagles take 2 out of 3 because our bats have been hot as of late, and we're used to we're the comeback kids now. So I'm thinking 2 out of 3. Both teams are 9-9. They have probably a little better offense with, as you said, L.A. De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, who's a Millikan High School product out of Long Beach.
Yes.
Yeah, that it's the ball flies out of that ballpark, and the Angels haven't been there for a few years, so we'll see. But I'm thinking they take 2 out of 3. That's my prediction for
That
that
would be a
series.
nice thing.
Yeah,
And
and we
then,
come home.
yeah, against the Orioles, and they have Jackson Holiday, who has come up. He's kind of struggled. I think he was 0 for his first 13 before he got a hit on, I want to say that's Sunday afternoon game or Saturday afternoon game against Milwaukee.
A
They also
single, yeah.
lost. They lost 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee, and let's see where Baltimore is right now. Baltimore, second place, they're 12-6, so they're of course a really good team. They showed it, taking 2 out of 3 in the opening series of the season over the Angels. So I don't even want to predict. I'm gonna say still 1 out of 3 in that series at the Big A. I think just the Orioles have too much. I've been wanting to watch them every time they come out here, and you didn't really say that before. But
Yeah,
all their young talent has been awesome. Cano,
they're an exciting
Batista,
team. They're young.
Rutschman, uh, Gunnar Henderson, and now you have Holiday, which is attracting everybody because he's the first ranked prospect. They just have too much, I think, and they have the pitching to go with it. With Corbin Burns, I know he struggled against Milwaukee, but he's probably going to face the Angels and destroy him like he did on opening day. What do you think that series is going to be for the Angels?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that great of a series for us because we're going to come off a 10-game road trip. We're going to be tired. Our bullpen's already taxed. Our starters have been pitching the games of their lives, pretty much everybody except for Canning, it seems like. But yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to give the Angels 1 game. So it's a 3-game series. I think they go 1-3. We win 1 game in that series, and they take 2 out of 3 from us. So, but I'm looking to go to the game hopefully Tuesday so I can see Holiday in action and the rest of that young team against Trout and Rendon and our guys once again. In our house. I'm hoping for a better outcome, but I think they're a better all around team, and they're going to be one of the teams battling for that American League crown or pennant. So we'll see what happens.
I'm hoping to go Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Again, I lost a bet, saying the Angels will not go 4-2 in their first 6 game on that road trip, and they did. And my friend said, "Hey, you got to go to every day game for the Angels." And well, there's one there. The rest of the homestand would be not only Baltimore but Minnesota on that weekend, and then Philadelphia, and then
That's
we'll
going
go
to be a
into
good
May.
one.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to one of those games. I think it's another day game for that Philly series at the end of that. Now, unfortunately, injury bug. It always comes for the Angels, and it's reared its ugly head. Brandon Drury was held out of the lineup on on Tuesday. He played Monday, and he had to exit the game against the Rays in the 8th inning for precautionary reasons. He felt some discomfort. That's why you've seen Rengifo out there, and he's been giving it his all, but he hasn't been able to get to some see nice singles out there against the Rays this series. He was held out. Drury was held out of the lineup Tuesday and Wednesday. He's going to be held out of the lineup again on Thursday just as a precaution because of the turf at Tropicana Field. It is not something your legs want to be a part of. But Drury will be back to face his former team on Friday, or expected to, against Cincinnati. So that's really good to hear. Now, the bad news. Robert Stevenson, the right-hander who was signed that 3-year, $33 million deal, he had some right elbow discomfort. He was removed on April 13th from his first rehab appearance. He faced just one batter. I think it was 4 pitches. And Aaron Rodgers kind of outing, I guess you would say, and he felt something in his right elbow not go well. He was pitching for the Salt Lake City Bees, AAA affiliate. And it was so unfortunate because, we were hoping that he was going to come back, and, signing in January, that was the only big signing that the Angels had, really, when you really think about it, the only money spent. And for him not to be a part of this bullpen, it just hurts because, hey, they need reinforcements. Like you said, it's taxed. Estevez is really shaky right now, despite his 4 saves. Luis Garcia, you're not going to depend on him. And then Simber, it's just a point until he timbers. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I like it.
So it's just unfortunate because we wanted to see Stevenson. Now we have to wait till 2025, and we'll see if he even makes it to the team. It's just unfortunate. So, and Chase Silseth again. He had an outing against the Red Sox on that Sunday on April 7th, and he's possibly going to return in early May. He had right elbow inflammation, and we all thought it was going to be, damn, he needs surgery, but unfortunately not.
Not that serious.
Yeah, hopefully he can come back and be better. But what do you think about the Stevenson news? I mean, it is just deflating to hear.
It's devastating. Obviously, I mean, we bring free agents over here, then they go down immediately. Mm-hmm. 3 years, $3 million. When I heard that, I was like, I hope it's not Tommy John. And it very well might be. We'll know more tomorrow, they said, hopefully, or in the coming days. Hopefully it's not a UCL tear, which will require a type of Tommy John surgery. So hopefully it's not that bad, but he's out for the season. So he's not. It may be a season or a season and a half. We won't know until they release everything on his MRI that he had done. But I mean, it's like it never fails. Each year we have somebody that goes down either with Tommy John or a major injury. But it seems to be not only us, but league-wide this year, where you have guys that have elbow, and we've talked about it, pitchers that have elbow issues. It seems to be a lot less than a few years ago, but this year the injury bug has hit a lot of teams hard, and it's no surprise that once again the injury bug hits the Angels where it hurts and in the bullpen. So,
what was it? 166 players start the season. MLB start the season on the IL. 132 of them were pitchers. Just think about that. It's amazing to think about. It's awful. And I know I'll probably talk about this more with Todd. We're going to bring back the Around the League show, hopefully record this weekend and get that out there, where we're going to talk about that among other league issues. I mean, there's a big amount of issues in this league right now. And the elbow injuries, as Verlander called it a pandemic, I would call it an epidemic, not a pandemic. But it's just unfortunate to see, and it finally hit the Angels. Never immune to anything, especially not injury. So that was the week for the Angels, the week in review here on James Squared. Any final thoughts, Milu?
I'm just hoping we take this last game of the series against the Rays, come home and win some more games, get in solidify first place. Hey, the Angels enjoy it because the Angels are playing some meaningful baseball right now, even though it's still way early in the season. This is what we like to see. They're being competitive. Wash has these guys ready to play day in and day out. And it's kind of, I'm not going to honk my honk or anything, but as Todd likes to say,
Yeah.
but it's going to be some good times in Anaheim if we can keep this rolling, you know? And it's good to tune in and see the Angels playing better than they have at least the past 2 seasons, where they actually look like they want to be out there as opposed to just going through the motions, like we're used to seeing over the last 5 or 6 years. So I'm just looking forward to some more good baseball. We need to clean some things up, obviously, on the pitching side, on some of it on the defense. We made another error today, but the hitting's starting to come around, and I'm just hoping we have no more injuries and we just get after it.
One thing I do like seeing is Ron Washington and his coaching staff just talking with the players. I mean, you never really saw that with Madden and Nevin unless it was something controversial or whatever. Literally, Barry Enright, he's going over things with pitchers every inning, every half inning. He's right there with them. Johnny Washington, the hitting coach, is talking with Trout and whomever hits. It's not only when a home run happens. It's with any at bat.
Right.
He's going over the situations with them. And then Washington, he's going out there not to have the hook for pitchers. He's out there to talk with them, and that's something you haven't really seen in a while, especially now in the days with the mound visits counting or whatever it is.
Right.
So I do like what I'm seeing from the coaching staff, and it's everything I wanted from a Ron Washington staff. It's really great to see, and I just hope it continues. Again, check out our sponsors at Noble Works and then 714 Tickets.
714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. Call today. Go tonight.
And we'll see you next time on James Squared. Everybody have a great, great day wherever you may be.
Let's get some more wins.